Hi ladies and gentlemen, Morino Reichenberg here. I just felt like shooting this video. This video isn't going to cover an exact topic. I am just going to discuss certain matters of occultism and being an occultist and the life of an occultist and personality overall. When it comes to me, I'm also a textbook occultist, more or less, okay? I have the same character traits, more or less the same life. I have led the same life, and let's start off by comparing, okay, occultists to normal people, or not normal people, let's just say mundane people, occultists to muggles. We as occultists, okay, the occult community, okay, or most occultists, we're a special bunch. That's all, that goes without saying. But of course, the price that basically God makes us pay for being able to do the things that we do is um, is a certain amount of more than a fair share of pain and misery or suffering, trials, adversity, and hardships that we have to endure at the very least at some part of our lives within our current life cycles. I mean, I have met people that are. I mean, back when I still engaged with occultists, I've gotten to know a bunch of people that are exceptionally special. I'm talking about people that are top notch. These people are great. Okay, these people can do things that they can just read your mind just by focusing. They can get a picture of you and they can just tell you everything about yourself just by the picture. I'm talking about details, names, everything. So yeah, that is great, and that is great in itself. But the the problem is with most occultists, at least one of the problems is that most occultists don't live up to their full potential. They don't use their skills and turn that into a way of living. I, for example, as an occultist, that's why I also said I'm a textbook example of an occultist. I have also had my fair share of pain and misery, no more than my fair share of pain and misery. I'm right now, at the time of this recording, I'm 32 years old. The first 30 years of my life have been somewhat pain and misery. The first 25 years of my life have been filled with struggle, strife, and chaos. All kinds of issues. Okay, from from um, from pain and misery in my life occurring due to negative entities causing that chaos in my life. I'm talking about, and that includes suicide attempts, stuff like that. Imagine what it's like to literally have evil spirits just hammer the thought, kill yourself repeatedly into your mind, almost non-stop. Bram, 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 bram. That's just one of the examples I'm giving. I'm talking about it in an upbeat and light fashion because for me, based on who I am, this stuff is normal. This is the daily grind for me. Okay, this stuff doesn't phase me, and not that I'm insensitive or anything like that. I'm very aware. I'm more aware than the average person of the sheer magnitude of something like that happening. But again, I've been through all of that, and I'm still here. And not just that, I'm better and stronger than ever. But that's my point. The things that people, the thing, it's basic. This is basically like the price that God makes you pay for being able to do what I do, and that's the price that God makes us as occultists pay for being able to do what we do. And the problem with most occultists is, as opposed to me, is that they don't live up to their full potential. I'm not saying all occultists. There are some occultists out there that are doing just fine, like me, but the majority of them, overwhelmingly, not. What the problem is that they don't use their skills and then to their full benefit, and then they settle for doing things that don't mean anything and things that they're really bad at. Okay, again, it's like me working some mundane job when I don't have any mundane skills, which I don't. I know that I don't. My natal chart clearly displays it. I don't have any mundane skills. I've done plenty of work, like I mentioned in a previous video. I've worked as a security guard. I've worked as a call center operator, and I've worked also as a control room operator, or better said, a dispatcher, kind of like a 911 work, basically, a 911 dispatcher, something like that. And I was at the best moderately good at these jobs, but I didn't achieve anything. I didn't get paid more. I didn't get a higher position. Nothing. Okay, it's just a job, something to pay bills at the end of the day, and it doesn't mean anything. And that's my point exactly. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, as an occultist doing what I do for a living, again, like I mentioned in a previous video, I have achieved more in 1 year than I have in working 8 years, in working mundane jobs 8 years. Okay, I literally make 10 times more, literally, not figuratively, 10 times more as much money, and I excel at a tremendous rate because this is what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do. This is what I was born to do. I'm living up to my full potential, and the problem is that the average occultist doesn't. Again, imagine being gifted in some area, okay, being an exceptional bookkeeper, being incredibly good with numbers, but instead of that, focusing or for some reason coercing yourself or forcing yourself to commit to blue collar work. I mean, to work as some kind of let's just say some kind of maintenance guy or something like that. For example, an office maintenance guy. So basically, you clean the office when outside of working hours or outside of office hours. You're going to suck at it, obviously, and that's the problem with most occultists. They suck at their jobs, and most of them are just good enough at doing their jobs in order to keep their jobs. So they're basically on the edge. They're always on the knife's edge and on the verge of losing their jobs, and they live from paycheck to paycheck. Okay, they're struggling to get by. They have nothing. That's my point. They struggle, and again, they have nothing, literally nothing. And that's the problem. They don't live to their full potential. They lack the discipline, they lack the willpower, they lack the overall attitude that you need, the skills that I have in order to get things done. Okay? Actually talk to them about this. I'm not pushing people in the other direction, okay? I'm definitely not going to do that. I'm not Jesus. I'm not here to lead people to the promised land. Actually do something like that, and they'll openly tell you, oh man, I gotta do this again, I gotta do that again, I have to do this, and so on. These people lack the willpower, okay? They're not serious about doing what they want to do for a living, or actually committing to hard work. They don't have discipline, they don't have willpower. So they just sit like a bunch of beanbag chairs and just accept the situation, their miserable situation that is their lives, the miserable situations that are their lives. They just accept it for what it is. They're just like, oh, what the fuck ever, okay? And again, that's their problem. That's one of the reasons that I want nothing to do with them, okay? That's their problem, not mine. But that is just it in terms of the occult community, okay? Compare it to mundane people. Mundane people, the muggles out there, they have nothing. They barely even know the difference between their own face and their ass. For them, life is nothing but paying bills, trying to have as much sex as possible, and trying to stuff their faces with junk food. They never think past that point, let alone that they come into contact with spiritual entities or anything of a divine or higher nature, something that is greater than them. Okay, that is why occultists in that sense are better than than mundane people. But again, everything has its price. Mundane people don't go through so much pain and suffering, but again, they'll never be something special. Occultists in general are a chapter apart. They're an exceptional chapter in the book. But the price that God makes you pay, again, everything has a catch. Everything has a downside to it. And like I mentioned, the price that you need to pay is a certain level, more than a fair share or a fair amount of adversity and trials that you go through in your life or in your current life cycle. So that's just basically it. That's definitely just something to keep in mind, food for thought.